Every day we follow routines that seem ordinary. Waking up, having coffee, heading to work or school. But if you look closer, you'll find countless fascinating details hidden in these repeated actions, revealing how people live, work, and connect. In today's journey, you'll step into the lives of many different characters, from a busy office worker in New York, to a dedicated nurse in a hospital, to a warm-hearted bookstore owner in a quiet town. Each story not only helps you practice English, but also uncovers small, unexpected moments that make daily life truly captivating. From the moment the day begins, the power of a morning routine. Our journey starts with something we all share, the beginning of a new day. The morning is a small window of time, yet it can shape the energy, mindset, and flow of everything that follows. In English shadowing practice, mornings are not just a topic. They are an opportunity to learn natural expressions, improve pronunciation, and connect with the way native speakers talk about daily life. Imagine following along as I describe my own routine, sentence by sentence, and you mirror my words, tone, and rhythm until speaking feels effortless. I usually wake up around 7 a.m., although sometimes the snooze button tempts me into stealing just a few more minutes of rest. That moment between sleep and wakefulness is when your brain is most alert to new sounds, making it perfect for listening and repeating English phrases. I roll out of bed, head straight to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and splash cold water on my face to feel refreshed. Every action has its own rhythm and vocabulary, words like snooze, splash, refresh, and shadowing them helps you absorb their natural pronunciation. After a quick shower, I choose my clothes for the day. Here we can practice descriptive words, a fresh set of clothes, a warm sweater, or comfortable jeans. By speaking them aloud as part of a real routine, you make the vocabulary stick in your memory. Next comes the smell of freshly brewed coffee. While I prepare a strong cup, I fix some toast and check my phone for the latest news. The combination of action verbs, brew, fix, check, teaches you how to connect verbs smoothly in conversation. By 8:15, I'm out the door, catching the 8:20 bus to work. This is a perfect chance to practice linking words and sentences. I'm out the door by 8:15, catching the 8:20 bus to work. Notice how native speakers naturally blend the sounds, making the sentence flow like music. Once I arrive at the office, the whirlwind begins, replying to emails, greeting colleagues, and joining a stand-up meeting. Short, precise sentences like these mirror real-life English, and shadowing them helps you speak quickly without losing clarity. Around 11, I take a short coffee break. Here, the tone changes, more relaxed, slower. This is your chance to practice switching pace and emotion. Lunch might be a quick bite at my desk or something to go from a nearby cafe. Each choice brings in new phrases you can store for future conversations. By the time 5 p.m. rolls around, I'm ready to wrap up and head home. In just a few sentences, we've traveled from the moment I woke up to the end of my workday. Each step a real living example of how English is used in everyday life. By shadowing this routine, you're not just learning words, you're living them, feeling their rhythm, and making them a natural part of your own speech. From work to real life. English, conversations in action. After the rush of a busy morning, the story of the day shifts into something just as important, our real-life interactions. If the morning routine gives us the rhythm, the afternoon gives us the melody. It's where language comes alive in conversations, from a quick coffee order to a friendly chat with a colleague. This is where your shadowing practice moves beyond just describing actions. It becomes about connecting with people. Think about the moment you step out for lunch. You walk into a cafe, and the friendly barista greets you. "Hello, what can I get for you?" It's such a simple question, but it opens a whole world of practice. You might answer, "I'd like a cappuccino, please," or "just a black coffee, no sugar." By shadowing these exchanges, you practice not just the words, but also the polite tone, the slight rise and fall in the voice that makes you sound friendly and confident. Back at the office, you might pass a colleague in the hallway and hear, "Hey, how's it going?" This is not the time for a long speech. Native speakers often use short, casual answers like, "Pretty good, and you?" or "Not bad, just busy." In shadowing, you get to rehearse these small responses that happen dozens of times in real life. The key is learning to make them flow naturally, without hesitation. Later in the day, maybe you need to pick something up from the store. You walk into a clothing shop and say, "Excuse me, do you have this in a larger size?" The shop assistant might reply, "Let me check for you," or "Yes, we have it in large and extra large." These are short back and forth sentences that help you practice speed and clarity at the same time. Shadowing them at different speeds, slow first, then faster, trains your brain to process and respond like a native speaker. One of the best ways to bring this to life is through mini stories. Imagine you're Jason, a delivery driver. You start your shift, greet customers, chat briefly, grab lunch at a food truck, and return to the warehouse by 5 p.m. Each interaction, "Here's your package, could you sign here please?" is a real-world example of English in motion. By repeating Jason's day out loud, you don't just memorize vocabulary, you learn how to use it. And here's the secret. Practicing these dialogues isn't just about speaking, it's about listening to yourself and noticing how your tone changes. Do you sound rushed when you should sound calm? Do you pause in the right places? Are you connecting words smoothly? These details are what make you sound fluent. By the time the afternoon is over, you've moved from describing your routine to mastering the little conversations that fill your day. Each one is a chance to turn the English you've learned into something alive and personal, language you can carry confidently into any situation. Evening routines, turning practice into relaxed, natural English. After a day filled with quick exchanges, workplace tasks, and real-life conversations, the evening arrives, a time when the pace slows down and language takes on a different energy. If the morning gave us structure and the afternoon gave us interaction, the evening gives us warmth. It's the perfect moment to practice English in a relaxed yet meaningful way, connecting not only with the language but also with the feelings behind the words. Imagine the workday has ended. You step outside, breathe in the cooler air, and feel a wave of relief. You might say to yourself, "I'm ready to unwind," or "Time to head home." Short phrases like these are natural transitions you'll hear from native speakers all the time, and shadowing them helps you make them second nature. On the way home, perhaps you stop by the supermarket. The conversation is simple but useful. "Excuse me, where can I find the milk?" Or, "Do you happen to have fresh bread today?" These little moments are gold for shadowing because they are direct, polite, and instantly usable in daily life. Once home, the rhythm changes again. You might describe your actions. "I put down my bag, take off my shoes, and head to the kitchen." Maybe you decide to cook dinner. Phrases like, "I'm chopping vegetables," "I'm boiling pasta," or "I'm frying some eggs" become natural vocabulary that ties directly to your actions. By shadowing these while imagining yourself doing them, you strengthen both your fluency and your confidence. Dinner time can also be a time for casual conversation. If you live with family or friends, you might hear, "How was your day?" And answer, "Pretty good. A bit busy, but I got a lot done." Shadowing these short exchanges in an easy tone helps you sound more natural in friendly settings. If you're eating alone, you might narrate your evening aloud in English. "I'm having pasta with tomato sauce. It smells amazing." This self-narration is a powerful shadowing tool. You become your own conversation partner. After dinner, the evening might include activities like watching a TV show, reading a book, or chatting with a friend online. Each activity has its own vocabulary. "I'm binge-watching a series," "I'm halfway through an interesting novel," "We're catching up over a video call." Practicing these in both slow and faster rhythms gives you flexibility, so you can sound smooth whether speaking casually or more formally. Before bed, the tone shifts once more. You might say, "I'm winding down," "I'm getting ready to sleep," or "I'm calling it a night." These are soft, closing phrases that feel natural at the end of the day. Shadowing them in a calm, slower pace helps you master not just the words, but the mood they carry. By linking your evening routine to your shadowing practice, you turn English into something you live, not just something you study. The language becomes part of your rest, your reflections, and your special situations, expanding your English beyond routine. By the time evening settles in, you've already practiced English through your morning routine, workplace interactions, and relaxed nighttime habits. But real life isn't always predictable. Sometimes, you find yourself in special situations, moments outside the daily pattern that challenge you to adapt your language skills on the spot. These moments are not just tests, they are opportunities to grow, and shadowing is the perfect way to prepare for them. Imagine you're traveling. You step into a busy train station, suitcase in hand, and need to find the right platform. You approach someone. "Excuse me, does this train go to Central Station?" The answer might be, "Yes, that's the one you want." Or "No, you need platform 4. These short, functional dialogues are quick to learn and easy to reuse. Shadowing them at both slow and natural speeds helps you become confident when asking for help in an unfamiliar place. Or picture yourself at the airport. The announcement comes over the loudspeaker. "Flight 218 to London is now boarding at Gate 7. You repeat it after the speaker in your head, noticing the rhythm and emphasis. Later, when a staff member asks, "May I see your passport, please?" you can respond smoothly without hesitation. Practicing these exchanges ahead of time through shadowing means you won't freeze in real situations. Special situations aren't limited to travel. They can happen in your own neighborhood. Maybe you visit a restaurant you've never been to before. The waiter asks, "Do you have a reservation?" And you answer, "No, just a table for one, please." Or you might say, "Could we possibly sit by the window?" These polite but slightly more formal phrases are ideal for practicing tone and intonation, so you sound friendly, not mechanical. Sometimes the unexpected is personal. Imagine you're at a hospital visiting someone and a nurse asks, "How are you feeling today?" You could respond with, "A little tired," or "I didn't sleep well last night." These aren't just random sentences, they're part of everyday English that people use when discussing health and well-being. Shadowing them helps you deliver them naturally, with the right emotional tone. One of the most effective ways to practice for special situations is through mini role-play stories. Take Leah, the bookstore owner. In her day, she answers customer questions, recommends books, and even writes short reviews for her store. By repeating her lines, "We just got this new mystery novel," or "Would you like me to wrap that for you?" you prepare yourself for both predictable and surprise interactions. Special situations often demand quick thinking. Shadowing these dialogues teaches you to respond with speed, clarity, and confidence. Whether you're buying a train ticket, ordering food in a foreign city, or asking a stranger for directions, you'll be ready. By adding these unpredictable scenarios to your practice, you from practice to confidence, making English a natural part of you. After exploring mornings, afternoons, evenings, and special situations, we've reached the most important stage of all, turning all that practice into real, lasting confidence. It's here that shadowing stops being just an exercise and becomes part of who you are. The goal is no longer just to practice English, but to live in English, thinking, speaking, and responding without hesitation. Think about what happens after you've shadowed hundreds of sentences in different contexts. You've asked for directions at a train station, ordered food at a restaurant, checked in at the airport, and answered friendly questions in a shop. You've practiced both slow and fast versions, formal and casual tones. At first, you might have repeated the words mechanically, but now your voice carries meaning. You've learned to emphasize important words, to soften your tone when being polite, and to sound enthusiastic when sharing something positive. Confidence doesn't appear overnight. It's built from small wins. Maybe the first time you greeted someone, you stumbled. But after shadowing, "Hi, how's it going?" dozens of times, you find yourself saying it smoothly, almost without thinking. That's the power of repetition. It moves language from your conscious effort into your natural habit. This is also the point where you can start mixing your own life into the phrases you've practiced. Instead of just shadowing, "I usually wake up at 7, you might say, "I usually wake up at 6:30 because I like to have time for yoga." By replacing details with your own, you make the language truly yours. The vocabulary becomes connected to your experiences, so it's easier to remember and more comfortable to use. Another part of building confidence is emotional variety. Earlier, we practiced saying things with joy, fatigue, surprise, and calmness. This isn't just for fun, it's essential. When you can change your tone to match your meaning, people will feel that you are not only speaking English but living it. Shadowing with emotion trains you to be flexible and expressive, which makes your conversations more engaging. Don't forget that confidence also grows when you accept mistakes. Even the best speakers sometimes forget a word or say something awkward. The difference is, they keep going. Shadowing teaches you to push forward, to keep speaking even if you miss a word, because in real life, conversation doesn't pause for perfection. By the end of this journey, your English is no longer something you switch on, only in a classroom or when studying. It's part of your day, woven into your mornings, your errands, your conversations, your special experiences. The more you live with it, the stronger it becomes. So, as you continue practicing, remember, shadowing is more than repeating sounds. It's building a voice that feels natural, confident, and uniquely yours. Every sentence you repeat is another step toward speaking fluently yours.